What's going on, guys, and welcome to part one of my 2024 NFL mock draft. In this one, we're just going to kind of be going through the picks. We're not going to do any trades. I'm only going to be doing 1 through 16 because we don't really know how everything's going to play out. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So at first, we have the Bears. They have Justin Fields. I know it's a big thing right now. Is Justin Fields the answer? Should they draft Caleb Williams? I mean, I believe in this one, I'm going to go ahead and draft a quarterback, guys. We're going to go ahead and pick Caleb Williams here. Financially, it makes sense. Right now, you're going to be paying Justin Fields here in a year 25 million plus a year, maybe 40 million. Daniel Jones getting 40 million a year, guys. If you don't know that Justin Fields is the answer and you don't know if Caleb Williams is, I think you go ahead and take the risk. You can't really have first pick in the first round 2 years in a row, guys, and not take a quarterback here. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Caleb Williams for the Chicago Bears. Next, we got the Commanders. Throughout the beginning of the season, guys, we were seeing Sam Howell throw the ball around. He had the most yards in the league at one point, but the interceptions and the sacks just creep up on you guys, and we can't have that going all the time. I think Drake May is going to be the answer here. And I actually think Drake May is probably a little bit more NFL ready than Caleb Williams is right now. And Caleb Williams, I think, is a better improviser, but overall, I think Drake May is the better overall quarterback prospect here in year one. At number three, we got the Patriots. They just got rid of Bill Belichick. They had a horrible season last year, guys. They underachieved the season before also when they had the defensive coordinator as the offensive coordinator and just a bunch of mess. I think this year they have Gerard Mayo as their head coach now. I think they're going to go ahead and try to start all over. And I actually think that we're going to go down here on the board and we're going to pick Jaden Daniels here at number three. QB is the most important position on the field. And I think that they're going to want to go and address that after these years that they've had now for their fans. At number four, we got the Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray showed some decent play this year. I think that they trust in him. They're definitely rocking with him. They've said it. The owner came out and said that they're rocking with Kyler. He's been playing well. Hollywood Brown is going to be a free agent this year. I think that they're going to go ahead and try to get Kyler his number one weapon, and that's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. here at number four for the Cardinals. He's a franchise changing talent, guys, and I think that they're going to go ahead and pick him up so that he can go ahead and get that offense moving. Here at number five, we got the Chargers. The Chargers definitely underperformed this year, guys. I know there's lots of injuries. They fired Brandon Staley, got him out of town. Still looking for their head coach. Don't know who it's going to be yet. They're interviewing Jim Harbaugh. I saw that. I believe that Antonio Pierce also interviewed there. I think that with Keenan Allen agent, Mike Williams going to be a free agent here in the future. I think they're going to go ahead and try to get Justin Herbert another weapon to make that offense click. And I think we're going to go down here and select Brock Bowers, tight end out of Georgia, because he is on a absolute another level of talent as a tight end prospect, guys. He run blocks, run after the catch. He's just a special player, and I think that he's going to go in there and really open up that offense even more. The dump off, they don't have to just rely on Eckler in the short game. They can throw tight end screens and watch him break off for 10 yards, pick up them first downs, and just turn the change, guys. And I think they're going to go Brock Bowers here, number five. At number six, we got the New York Giants. The Giants, I believe, are in a bad spot. They just paid Daniel Jones. You just committed to him. I think that he's a below average quarterback. I think that the decision to pay him is going to bite them in the butt for sure. I'm kind of nervous for their future, but I think that they're going to want to go out here and get Daniel a good weapon. And I think that's going to be wide receiver Malik Neighbors out of LSU. Giants don't have that number one receiver, and Malik Neighbors will come in there and be their number one for sure. He's a down the field threat. He makes plays, great hands. He had the Heisman quarterback this year in Jaden Daniels, and I think that he's going to be a great receiver here going into the NFL. At number seven, we got the Tennessee Titans. Titans this year, guys. Ryan Tannehill started the season, wasn't doing anything like we all expect out of him. They went ahead and tried to go ahead and start Will Levis, and he showed some ups and downs. I think he played all right for a rookie. I think this year he was the second best rookie quarterback out of the draft since Anthony Richardson got injured and Bryce Young absolutely stinks. So we got Tennessee Titans here on the clock. What are they going to do? They had Taylor Lewan retire on him last year to go pursue his podcasting career. You got a horrible beat up line. The inside linemen, the guards, centers, they're decent players, so I think they're going to go out here and try to get out a good tackle. And I think that the first tackle off the board is actually going to be Fashanu out of Penn State. You can debate whether you think Joe Alt or Fashanu is the best two tackles. For me, I believe it's going to be Fashanu. I don't know. Notre Dame's offense really wasn't publicized as much, and I think Fashanu is going to come out of the draft first. Here, number 8, we got the Atlanta Falcons. Just fired their head coach, finally. Got Arthur Smith out of town. I think that that's going to help out the team a lot. I think the Falcons are kind of disappointed with how this went. All three of these quarterbacks going 1, 2, and 3. I think that they would go quarterback. Maybe in another draft, I'll have them trading up and trying to get their quarterback or even trading for Justin Fields, which I've heard a lot of rumors about. But I think here is going to be the first defensive player off the board, and I think it's going to be Dallas Turner, edge out of Alabama. I think Dallas Turner probably has the highest upside for an edge rusher in the draft. He's tough, he's physical, he's strong, twitchy off the edge, and I think that Dallas Turner will be the first defensive player here taken off the board. Going on to number 9, we got the Bears back here in the top 10 for their second pick. And they already went and got their Caleb Williams. They got their franchise quarterback. They just went and got DJ Moore last year. The defense started to look decent there at the end of the year. I think they're going to be chopping at the bits to go get another weapon for Caleb. And I think they're going to do that in Rome Odunze, wide receiver out of Washington. Odunze is a great athlete, great hands, downfield threat, makes plays. Had Michael Penix throwing him the ball last year. Penix. We're going to go Penix. Odunze is just a great receiver, and I think that that's where the Chicago Bears want to go. I think they're going to go offense here in the top 10, and then maybe later rounds in the draft, they'll go pick up some solid defenders since the defense in this draft is not as top heavy as the offense is. Then we're going to move on to number 10, the New York Jets. Jets had a disappointing season. Aaron Rodgers injured and out for the season, torn Achilles on the 4th play versus the Buffalo Bills. I think we can all agree that that offense is lackluster and is really lacking pass protection. They get bombed every single play. They can't protect Zach Wilson, Simeon, Tim Doyle, whatever his name is. And I think they're going to go ahead and take who some might think is the best tackle in the draft, and Joe Alt here at number 10. Moving on to pick 11, the Minnesota Vikings. I don't necessarily believe that they should go with this pick, but in this draft, I'm going to go ahead and simulate as if the quarterbacks are going here. And I'm going to go ahead and go down to Michael Penix out of Washington, pick up the franchise of the future quarterback for the Vikings. I think it's a little bit of a reach, but I could see Vikings seeing what happened with Kirk this year. Kirk going to be a free agent. You had the passion not come in there. Josh Dobbs, and he looked good for a couple of weeks, fell off. And then you got Nick Mullins coming in there throwing 4 interceptions a game, and you just can't have it as a franchise. I think they're going to go ahead and try to move on to a rookie, move on to their future, and I think they're going to go Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington. He's a strong arm, and he's pretty decently accurate, but I think that his injury history, guys, he's had 4 season-ending injuries in his college career. He's a little bit older as a prospect, and I think it's going to drop him probably out of the first round. But in this one, we're going to go ahead and pick him here at number 11. At number 12, we got the Denver Broncos. Only one defender still off the board, guys. So the Broncos really have the pick of the litter. I know that the Broncos fans want me to go ahead and get another quarterback here, J.J. McCarthy or something, but I'm going to go ahead and stay away from that. We're going to go Laiatu Latu, edge out of UCLA. He's going to be the second defender for me here off the board. Broncos need help at edge. Laiatu might be the best defender in the draft, guys. I think the problem with him dropping him to number 12 is he literally had to medically retire from football, and that's going to be holding him back here in the draft. That's going to scare some teams away, and I think that if he can stay healthy, he could be the best defender drafted out of this draft. So now we're moving on to pick 13, the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are all clamoring for Antonio Pierce to be the new head coach of the team. I think that the defense stepped it up. I think offensively, you don't have the quarterback. You got your running back in Josh Jacobs. You got your receivers, Jacoby Myers, Devontae Adams, even Hunter Renfrow. You got your tight end of the future probably also in Michael Mayer, guys. But the quarterback has not been answered. But I think with how this draft has went in this one, I'm going to go ahead and stick to the defense. We're going to get Max Crosby some help here. And we're going to go Jerzon Newton out of Illinois, defensive lineman, D tackle. So he's playing in the middle there. He's an interior run stopper, guys, with pass rush upside. And I think that adding him into that Raiders defense could really help them out. And I think that it would give Max Crosby some help where he can maybe eat up some blocks and Crosby can have some more one-on-ones to go get the quarterback. Number 14, we got the Saints. And with the Saints, you got a lot of older players on the line. You got Ramczyk probably retiring after this year. And I think that they're going to go ahead and draft the third tackle off the board here, which I believe will be J.C. Latham out of Alabama. Latham's big, strong, great run blocker. And I think the Saints are going to be leaning more on the run game next year with Kamara and Williams and Miller coming out the backfield. And I think Latham is the best run blocking tackle in this draft. He eats people up. He's huge, as I said. And I think the Saints are going to go tackle here at number 14, which moves me on to my Indianapolis Colts, where I think the board has fallen perfectly for them, which is not on purpose, just happened that way. And I think that there's a match made in heaven for Chris Ballard here and Nate Wiggins, corner out of Clemson. Ballard loves size, freak athletes. For years in a row now, he's drafted the most athletic players in the draft, and Nate Wiggins fits all of his likes. And I think Nate Wiggins is going to be the 15th pick here going to the Colts. We're going to move on to pick 16 here, the last pick of this mock draft that I'm doing. The later picks will come out when the teams are more decided in the playoffs. And the 16, we got the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks just fired Pete Carroll. The defenses look kind of sketch. Geno Smith is looking kind of sketch. Is maybe he regressing this year? I think that they're going to want to go ahead and tighten up that defense. And with the edge player Jared Verse coming out of Florida State, Verse is still developing. He's new to the edge position as he played tight end in high school, actually. He had a great college career. I think he'll come in and be an instant starter there for Seattle. Great strength. He has the most powerful hands in the draft, probably. And I think the Seahawks are going to go ahead and pick Jared Versier, edge out of Florida State. So thanks for tuning in, guys. This was my first edition of the NFL Mock Draft 2024. Go ahead and stay tuned for the next one. Please leave a like and subscribe.